Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. And we have a very exciting game here for you guys today. This is none other than Bisu. You can see on the side of your screen, he's got his ID spelled a little bit funny here. Bisu versus Jaedong. Super stoked about this, and I just realized that I've got the music off. You always need a little bit of that. StarCraft, there it is. There's the good stuff. Oh yeah. Bisu versus Jaedong. Not to be confused with the Bisu versus Jaedong replay cast that I did about 6 months ago. So if you want more of this and you missed that, did another cast of that 6 months ago. I'll put a link in the description or card or annotation at the end of the video or something like that. YouTube keeps changing the way that they do that stuff. And so there's probably like old videos that are like, all right, if you want to watch it, click right here. And there's someone pointing to the corner of the screen, and like YouTube removed the ability to put the videos on the screen mid-video. Anyway, regardless. This is going to be a great game. We got Jaedong down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map as the orange Zerg. He's going to be playing against Bisu, who's going to be playing the top right-hand corner of the map, Circuit Breaker. Seen a lot of good games on this map over the years. Excited about this one as well. Bisu's gonna be going ahead and opening with the Bisu build. And you know what? Some people are like, no, the Bisu build is a very specific combination of, well, you know what? It's Bisu doing it. So it's technically a Bisu build, you know, right now. Anyway, this is from a replay pack from 2010, I believe. So this is a practice game from 2010, which is a good vintage. It's a good Bisu Jaedong vintage, let me tell you. Before I get too far into this, I want to give some shout-outs and heartfelt thanks to a few folks. Simon, Dennis, Jonathan, and Magnus, thank you so much for sending me some donations on PayPal. And I'm just using their first names because, not because, but we got some cheese going on over here. Bisu cannon rushing Jaedong. He has gone for a later spawning pool, and with the early forge, Bisu found him very quickly and is able to get some damage down here. Oh, one of the probes goes down, but he's actually locked one of his probes behind the lines here in between these two pylons. So he actually has to kill the pylon. This is actually a pretty smart move. Oh, and he actually squeezes the probe out as well, so the probe can be a nuisance for these drones as they're trying to deal with stuff. And oh, the drones are actually getting tripped up here. He's trying to get around to the other side. Another cannon going down. He's going after the probe here. He's trying to kill off the probe desperately, but all the while he's going after the probe and kind of mucking about. The pylons are, I'm sorry, the cannons are almost finishing. One cannon is almost complete right now. Okay, so the creep comes up. He's actually going to get a creep colony down. And I'm not sure what the range is on that. I don't think it's quite within range of the cannon. No, the hatchery was within range, but this colony is not. So you can actually, he's gonna be able to like hit the pylon, I think. Oh no, it is within range. It's buried within range. So the cannon's actually gonna go after the creep colony now that it's morphing into a sunken, and that's in grave danger, but the Zerglings are coming in from the side. And I don't think this cannon's gonna be able to stand up to that because the Zerglings can sneak in the top and do the damage. So well defended by Jaedong, and all the while, you know, this is just goes to show you how pro these guys are. He doesn't panic, he doesn't like, you know, overreact or anything like that. He lost a drone or two, I think, just a couple Zerglings, but he dealt with it pretty well. And while he's doing it, he's getting another base, right? He's not just like, oh my god, I gotta make a million Zerglings. He made just enough Zerglings to deal with this. He's now sending them across the map to put a little bit of pressure on Bisu, and just check out what's going. He might even try a run by here. Jaedong, is he gonna try and run by? Is this probe gonna be able to stop it? He's gonna try and do the run by. Probe needs to get on the ramp. It doesn't get up there quite in time. And 3 Zerglings get through and are gonna be able to run around being very annoying in this base. We don't have speed upgrade even started yet, by the way, so they're not gonna be quite as annoying, but interesting situation here. But anyway, sorry, just to go back, the folks who gave me a donation over PayPal, again, I wanted to give you guys a shout out. I didn't want to say full names because I don't, you know, privacy and all that, but I don't know everyone's IDs. I'm really bad with names anyway. I think a couple of you guys have donated to me before under an ID because I recognize the name, but I apologize if I don't know, because sometimes people have a Twitch ID and a YouTube ID and a real name and all different ways of identifying themselves, and it's hard for me to keep it straight, even for like my family. So, family and friends. So, apologies for that. But point being, if any of you guys want me to give a more specific shout out to your gamer tag or something like that, just shoot me an email. But much appreciated. For sure. It's a kind of a weird place. It's a weird world to be in. Oh, look at this micro. Look at this zealot. Juke it around. It's got 2 Zerglings. Can he get the 3rd? Looks like he's waiting to try and get... Nope. Gets a 3rd. Well, he gets a 3rd, but he didn't get all of them. Needed a couple more shots there. But anyway, this is turning into a little bit of a longer macro game. It looks like the pylon's been killed off here. No. It's as if nothing happened here. We only have an injured sunken colony to... as a memorial to the fallen Zerglings and Canada. I don't know. Anyway, this is just Memorial Day, so I was maybe trying to go for a Memorial Day joke there or something like that. Although it's not really a good holiday to joke about, so never mind. In any case, these Zerglings that snuck in there earlier are still running around. 1 left, just 1 left, with only a handful of hit points left. 1 hit point left on that Zergling. And he does have the speed upgrade now, so he's going to be able to continue to be annoying as a scout, but he's not going to be able to get any kills because a single probe could kill that off very effectively. In any case, Jaedong moving into the mid game, getting the Sim City going. Very traditional, well, not traditional, but standard. You get your hatchery up, you get some other buildings there, you get your sunkens behind it, you do that, and he's of course taken the second base of this other expansion. Sorry, the expansion base of this other spawn, I should say. So that way he can easily take this 4th, and he's already working on defending that 4th right here. So, Jaedong looking to be in pretty good shape here. Bisu actually probably lost equivalent or maybe even more than Jaedong did. Scourge on the way, by the way. They're about to... Is this a Scourge right here? Yeah, Scourge are about to pop out. Look out! Look out, Corsair! It's gonna come right from underneath you. He gets the Overlord and scram-doodles out of there. Gets that Corsair out of danger right before the Scourge hatch out. So very well done by Bisu. But, yeah. So, Jaedong is just setting up for the mid-game here. He's going to want to use all of this to get a late-game advantage. Just try and overwhelm Bisu with his economy and his production abilities. Bisu is pushing out with a little squad of Zealots here. +1 is almost complete. So he's going to be able to push out with a decent amount of pressure here. And again, this is just to force Jaedong to make these sunken colonies, right? If he doesn't make those sunks, he can actually lose the game. So it's kind of like forcing him to do that. It's making him spend money. That's what I was going to say earlier is that, you know, Jaedong had to spend 1 drone for a sunk. He had to make some Zerglings. But Bisu lost 2 pylons and at least 1 cannon. He may not have canceled the other cannon. And here he is coming in to poke into the natural expansion. This is not going to fare too well for him. He almost was able to get those Zealots in there to get a surround on that sunken colony. But then he thought better of it when he saw the Zerglings. So he's going to go ahead and retreat there. And he needs to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get those surrounded. But Jaedong still doesn't have anything that can really... He's starting to build. Did I just see some Hydralisks in the production queue? He's going back in here, going after this again with more Zealots this time. I think he wants to try and kill off some Zerglings. You know, basically, if you imagine that if you ignore... Let's say you trade 1 Zealot for 1 sunk, right? The sunken colony is going to spend the equivalent time of the battle attacking a single Zealot. So if you just remove 1 Zealot from the equation, then it's basically just Zealots versus Zerglings. And that's a pretty good situation for Bisu. If he can get a battle going with +1 Zealots versus Zerglings, which are not upgraded with their Carapace, then you're going to be trading very efficiently, and the only cost for those efficient trades is, you know, the filing fee of taking damage from the sunken colony during the course of the battle. And so it's a pretty good situation for him to be in here. He's actually going and attacking some of the sunkens now. He's getting some drone kills. The drone's blocking the Zealots from getting up the ramp, which is actually very valuable tactical move here. The Zealots are finally going to squeeze up. There are only 2 left there, but now that they're up here, there's no defenses here, and that's why he wanted to kind of sacrifice some drones to keep those Zealots on the ramp, essentially. Bisu, by the way, has a ton of Corsairs out now, and he does not have +1 weapons on them, but that's quite all right. He's getting that upgrade right now, so he's going to have complete control of the air here. Jaedong has only invested in some Scourge, so he hasn't like gone Mutalisks or anything like that, so it's not in too much danger of losing out in that sense. but he does need to get something to deal with these Corsairs. Otherwise, they're just going to go ahead and go around and rampage against all of his overlords. Poking in there, just like testing out the shields, being like, all right, do the shields work? Yes, they do. Bisu trying to set up a third base, and this is what I was, this game has been pretty action-packed, so I didn't have a chance to say it. It gets a surround on that Archon and actually kills it off. The Zealots and the DT are going to be enough to push those Zerglings back, though, so he can actually get this third base up and rolling. But what I was thinking earlier is that, you know, with Jaedong having 4 bases and Bisu stuck on 2, it doesn't matter if he has good tech. You know, it's still going to be really tough for Bisu to actually deal with that. So, did we just see some Scourge land? I may have missed it. I think some Scourge just might have landed on some Corsairs. So he lost a couple. Now he's back up to 6, though, because he had 2 more in his base. If those 2 had been reunited with that group in the first place, they probably would have killed the Scourge before they landed. So a little bit unfortunate for Bisu there, losing out. I feel like Jaedong has a significant advantage here. I mean, if you look at the supply count, Bisu is up in supply by a bit, but Jaedong just has such a secure position, you know. They've got even workers, but Jaedong has 4 bases with which to spread them out. I think he could probably still use a few more drones, though, if he really wants to completely... well, let's see. Let's look around here. I guess there's not as many patches in some of the bases, so... well, I guess there's only 7 here. So, anyway, point being, yeah, Jaedong's economy doing pretty good. And in fact, he has gotten a few more drones like I was thinking. I was just thinking, like, you know, 48 divided by 4, you know, that's 12. That doesn't seem like it's quite enough, but I guess it is actually if you're a Zerg. You got 3 on the gas, and anyway. Let's see, did I... It seems like this is going slow. Did I accidentally hit the D key? I think I hit the D key. Let's go up a speed. I think now we're on fastest mode. I think I was running on the slower speed for the replay. So apologies for that. I was like, wait a minute, these probes are moving kind of slow. Anyway, getting back to the strategic overlay of the game, though, Bisu has captured this third base. He's got his Corsair count back up. They have +1 weapons as well. They're not going to die to Scourge anymore as long as he is on top of using them tactically. Jaedong now is kind of in a position where he has to make a move here. He's waiting on all this. Look at all these upgrades. Carapace. What is that? Air Carapace? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Overlord movement. Ground Carapace. Melee attacks. Consume on the Defilers. Hydralisks. So now he's got his full economy going. He's stopped at about 53 drones. And he is starting to mass up. He's starting to bulk up. He's in the gravity chamber, ladies and gentlemen. He's building up all of these upgrades, all of these forces. He's starting to pump out Hydralisks as well, and he's upgrading them thoroughly. He's looking to have a giant mid-game push, but Bisu says, no, I'm going to try and catch you before your power spike, before you get all those upgrades finished. I'm going to push in here and then retreat because, well, there's a Defiler there and Lurkers, so you can't really deal with that. Corsair's running around in the top as well, just getting some free kills. Hydralisks not numerous enough, always needs to be careful. Look at that. He just... With 10 Corsairs +1 upgraded, they one-shot the Scourge. So he just turns, pops that whole squad of Scourge right there. Bisu is poking in here. This is extremely well defended, though, so this is not going to go anywhere too well for him. There's no way to actually get in on those sunken colonies. There's Lurkers blocking the gaps here. I think Bisu's going to need to wait for this little spell up here in the corner that we see being researched right now. Psionic Storm. Psionic Storm is the one he needs to worry about. Bisu trying to set up a 4th base. Jaedong going in is going to try and snipe it with some cracklings. Actually, I don't know if the adrenal glands are upgraded yet. And he's not quite going to get the Nexus, I don't think. Yeah, he barely saves the Nexus there. Looks like it was down to about 200, 150 hit points. So he's going to save the Nexus. He's going to be able to build those defenses. And so Bisu, it's very smart. He's just kind of like chilling over here. It's like, I'm going to just defend this base for a little bit, make sure I get that going, and do some more harassment with my massive Corsair count. 11 of those suckers, +1 upgraded. They are able to just demolish anything in the air right now. But the Hydralisks, of course, are immune to air attacks. So he's going to be able to combat those, but it's, you know, the mobility of the Corsairs can keep them around. So anyway, Bisu now has that top base kind of secured. He's got the cannons up. He's got a few zealots hanging around there. It's kind of interesting. He's not actually fighting with his whole force here. He's keeping those zealots up north just in case of a counterattack, which is very smart. He's going in here to the Jaedong's 5th. So now that Jaedong has hit this power spike with his stuff, oh, huge plague over all of the zealots. That was a spell that just did hundreds and hundreds of damage. Hit points worth of damage there, doing a significant amount by hitting so many zealots. It looks like 7 or 8 zealots were hit by that plague. Corsairs, oh, I missed the storm drop over here. I thought this was just the Corsairs in the corner, but he actually did a nice storm drop as well. Looks like he killed several drones. Just caught the bare end of that. Corsairs also kind of rampaging about, trying to go get for free air kills. We're having some skirmishes in the middle of the map here. Bisu is not quite in the best position here, actually. I think he's going to be forced to fall back down the ramp, regroup as these Hydras and Lurkers assault his forces there. And so this is the kind of thing. So Jaedong, you know, he got this power spike off 4 bases, and now he's like, all right, now that I've kind of been power spiking, getting my upgrades and stuff going, getting my tech up, getting my economy going. He kind of let Bisu get away with that as well. Bisu was getting that too. But now Jaedong's trying to take the 5th base. We're probably going to see him take a 6th base before too long. Just trying to get his economy up so where it can kind of match Bisu. But Bisu, oh, another nice plague. I think those zealots were already plagued. Nope, new zealots, new plagues. And catching some dragoons as well. Again, each of those spells doing a lot of hit points worth of damage, which can add up in these other battles. He needs to be careful though. There are Templar on the map. He just got enough for a Psy Storm. Turn and storm the Hydras. Do it. There we go. Jaedong not doing too good of a job of spreading out his Hydras. Another plague goes down. Everything has been plagued, and some of those units had already previously been plagued, so it's not as huge of a damage as it looks like, but he still gets a lot of them. Sorry, he still gets a lot of those dragoons very weakened at this point. So Jaedong, though, you know, he's kind of, look at this, still at 51 drones. He made a few more. He lost some over here, but he's kind of at the same place drone-wise. So he is just pumping out units right now. And again, you know, this is the style of Zerg with this play, is to be kind of defensive. Use the lurkers, the dark swarms to be defensive and not actually have any huge, you know, game-ending engagements here. And speaking of which, though, actually, he might be able to catch some of Bisu's army off guard here. Nice Psy Storms, just absolutely demolishing the Zergling count there. Remember, most of these dragoons have been plagued, so if this gets into a tighter battle, they're going to be weak, but it just looks like there's too many of them. Jaedong does get down some dark swarms, but the zealots are numerous enough that they're going to be able to combat that pretty well. It looks like the zealots are almost dead now, and he's going to be forced to fall back from these swarms with the dragoon count. But still, very nice, nice battle there. Bisu only losing zealots basically and a couple dragoons. Jaedong, though, also only losing Zerglings and some Hydralisks there, so not too much damage dealt. Bisu, in the meantime, by the way, has gotten up a 5th base. This is kind of crazy that Bisu is keeping pace with the base count with Jaedong, who it feels like he can't make more drones, really. He's made a few drones since I mentioned it a minute ago. He's going to try and saturate this base over here, but he's kind of like not really fully utilizing his economy entirely right now, and he doesn't feel comfortable actually getting more economy because Bisu has such a threat on him right here. More High Templar coming in the back as well. It looks like these are fresh ones with 1 storm each coming from hanging around in the back of his army, just maneuvering around the middle of the map, putting pressure on Jaedong, making sure that Jaedong doesn't know where to go, see if he can catch units out. But it's funny, it's kind of like an interesting situation where both players are have been roaming around the map trying to see if they can catch free units of the other ones. And it's led to some skirmishes where both players have lost units, but nothing decisive. Bisu almost maxed, though. Bisu is almost maxed. Now, critically, though, a lot of that supplies in these Corsairs. A lot of it is in probes, of course. So Bisu has a large army, but if it's played correctly, oh, and then this is not the way to play it. Sending Scourge after a giant clump of upgraded Corsairs is not the way to be efficient at all. Jaedong losing some gas unnecessarily, basically. I think it's at this point, he really just needs to go with the Hydralisks. It's going to be really difficult to catch those Corsairs in a bad spot. It looks like he might have actually gotten one at some point, but that might have been the Hydras underneath more than the actual Scourge. So, so the ground army, though, if you look at the ground army, you know, they're going to be similar in their ground armies, basically, because Jaedong doesn't have any air forces, and a lot of Bisu's supply is tied up in air forces, both of them with almost identical worker counts at this point. Jaedong has gotten another 12 drones since we discussed that before, and he's gotten his economy up and roaring right now. He needs to be a little bit careful here. A nice storm catching the Hydras and 2 lurkers. The lurkers are still up, though. He's got 4 observers overhead, so it's not going to be not gonna be able to like snipe those and take control of the vision advantage there. Another plague, nice plague goes down on several zealots, but Bisu just has a little bit stronger army as far as his mobile army. These lurkers, oh wow, look at that. So many lurkers have been stormed that they're all very low on hit points. So both players actually need to be kind of careful with their units right now. This, oh nice, Zergling's running in, sniping a High Templar. Very well done. And Plagued Archons. I just love Plagued Archons. They're so silly. They're so silly. It's just, I don't know, it's just funny to see them because it does so little to them, but it looks epic to have the red goo all over this giant Archon, you know? So anyway, Jaedong has his economy going on these 5 bases now, but Bisu also has, let's see where he's still mining. He's barely still mining at his natural, so let's call it 3 bases that he's mining from basically right now. So Jaedong mining still 4.5 bases. He still has a few minerals in his main. So I'd call them, you know, pretty even on economy right now. But I feel like Jaedong would probably rather have a little bit more map control than he does. Bisu has been able to get these side bases basically without any retribution, without any pressure stopping him. He hasn't had to cancel any nexuses. You can see how much damage this nexus took before. Nice swarm. He's trying to go in for an attack on this base, but actually the zealots are in a nice spot to kind of defend this. Beautiful storm goes down, catching a lot of hydralisks, but I think there's just too much stuff. Now those storms have been used up. The High Templar is dead, in fact, which is definitely a way for them to be used up. And so he's going to be able to put down another swarm in here and just run in, attack. Oh, go Jaedong, there's nothing there. And he's actually given Bisu time to get some more zealots and dragoons over here. Also, Bisu's main army charging up the middle of the map to join on the other side is going to fend this off after all. I think there was a moment there where Jaedong actually had an opportunity to try to kill some stuff off there. Oh, look, he got a plague. I didn't catch it, but there was a plague on those Corsairs, by the way. So, and you can see that half the Corsairs have died as a result of being so vulnerable. Maybe not half, a few of them have. Actually, maybe a couple. I'm not sure. I don't remember how many I had at the most recent count. But in any case, Jaedong is still pushing into this side base, though. But this swarm is not quite in the best position. He gets it anyway! I didn't realize how low the Nexus was. The Zergling is just able to barely snipe out that Nexus. Beautifully done. And by the way, it looks like Bisu was trying to get another base up in the bottom right for a minute. I was kind of distracted, but I thought I saw that out of the corner of my eye. That's been, that effort has been canceled by Jaedong as well. So, I can't even see where this is. Oh, it's over here. He's attacking over here. So Bisu trying to get extra bases up to replace the ones that are about to mine out and not quite able to. Oh, look at this nice little slaughter of overlords that's going to happen over here. Disgusting overlord carnage going on. But in any case, okay, so Bisu once again trying to get this bottom right base here, but losing this base and getting denied this base at the same time leaves Bisu at 2 bases mining right now. Versus Jaedong, who has a lot of mining going on. So for this moment, Jaedong's economy is doing a lot better. Look at the probe count, by the way. I didn't even see when that happened, but it may have been during this attack up here. Bisu lost a lot of probes as well. So even if he gets that base up, it will not be fully functional in producing money for him. Nice storms by Bisu on these units that are streaming in to try and stave off this offensive. There are still some lurkers in the background. What is this? There we go. There's the dark swarm going down. It's going to prevent these dragoons from picking off the lurkers over here. Well, at least I guess some of the lurkers. There's still enough there. So I don't know if this is quite going to succeed, but at the very least, he's kind of forcing a major distraction. Jaedong is going to get some lurkers down underneath the swarm. He dodges one storm. Another storm goes down, though. The zealots are enough to finish off the lurkers, and all of the defenses have been killed off. Can Bisu now focus down the hatchery? The Corsairs coming in here as well are going to be able to do a decent job of distracting Hydralisks. They might be able to get some free Overlord kills as the ground armies battle it out here. Is he going to target? He's targeting the Archons with the Hydralisks now, so the Corsairs are just slaughtering Overlords. Jaedong has plenty of supply, so it's not going to hurt him in the short term, but in the long term, that is a lot of money down the drain. And Jaedong now bringing his reinforcements from the top down this ramp. A beautiful storm on the ramp. Could have been a little bit better placed, honestly, but it was very effective. But there's just too much stuff. Too much Zerg coming down the ramp. Jaedong now, with 72 drones, is mining a ton of stuff. He's got a lot of mining going on all over the map. Let's see, he's got full saturation here. Here, actually, he might even have more drones that he can use at the moment, but he can transfer some down here now as well. There we go. He's transferred some already, as I was just kind of thinking about it. And is he going to try and take out this right side base? Bisu has regained the 12 o'clock position, but he really needs to hold on to this bottom right base if he's going to have a long-term chance. And this is not going to end well for Bisu. He needs High Templar here, Reavers here, all over the place in order to defend this, and he does not have the defenses, so one swarm is all it takes, and this is going to go down very quickly. And it looks like Jaedong might be planning on another attack of the 12 o'clock base at the same time. Storm drop happened up here, by the way. I keep missing the storm drops. Apologies until like they're halfway through. Looks like he got a couple drones, but not really very many at all. So I feel like Jaedong is now in firm control of this game, and here he is pushing down the ramp into this 12 o'clock base. If he can take out this 12 o'clock base, I think that will be turning the tide too much in Jaedong's favor for it to matter for the rest of the game. They're even in supply, and that is a bad situation when you're the Protoss and you're behind in supply. Or even rather. Looks like he's getting a little bit ahead here, so he's not, I mean, he's almost maxed, so it's not like terrible position, but he's wasting a couple Psy Storms. He's gonna go ahead and make an Archon. But in any case, so Bisu does have a significant army, and he will have a chance to maybe try and make an engagement, but he really needs to start doing something about these side bases. This would be a nice target. Synod of View Zealots take this out. I'm not sure what else he can do, though. Jaedong is being really, really effective at moving around the map, kind of placing himself in the best spots to keep Bisu off guard, shut down Bisu's bases, and protect his own bases. This battle over here was very important as well. Jaedong protecting this base is crucial, not necessarily as much for the economy, but for the map control and just kind of winning the momentum and making sure he can stay even in supply. So Jaedong now looking to be in pretty good shape. 80 drones for Jaedong now. His economy is absolutely booming. And so look at this. Just throughout the course of this, Bisu has lost the Corsairs. He's kind of just been, it's interesting, you see this a lot with PvZ late game. They just kind of throw away their Corsairs kind of willy-nilly. And look at that, because they're plagued, one Scourge can take out a single Corsair. He's going to get back to the cannons he has. But one Corsair left means that there's basically no air army for Bisu anymore. And it'd be kind of funny, actually, to see Jaedong switch into Mutalisks or something like that, since there's a very, very heavy, zealot-heavy army. And, you know, he'd probably be able to pick off these High Templar or something like that if he made some Mutalisks, rather. But guess what? That's not going to happen, because he's maxed out. He's maxed out. He doesn't have the supply to build a dozen Mutalisks. Even though he does have the money, actually, you can see he's got a lot of banked up here. Bisu is in trouble here. He's got a maxed army, and he needs to be very, very careful and very, very effective with it, though. And what is in these shuttles here? Looks like we got Reavers in the shuttles. Okay, very nice. So he's got a super effective army. He's got a super bulky death ball. He's got all the AoE he could want if he gets into a major battle. You know, if he was able to bait Jaedong into just attacking him head on, he can take him out pretty quickly, but I don't think Jaedong's going to fall for that. Jaedong instead going for the long game, attacking these side bases, trying to keep Bisu off guard. Bisu now moving into the middle of the map with this giant ball of death. He's got so many soldiers with their blades ready to strike, running across the map. Where is he going this time, though? Is he going to try and target this southern position? I feel like targeting one of the northern bases might be a little bit better in the sense that, oh, he gets the Defiler, nice. And in the sense that, then he's also protecting the 12 o'clock bases, which is kind of his most crucial position right now, since it also is the gateway to this base, which is almost mined out. You know, so being in the northern half of the map is probably a little bit better for Bisu right now, in order to protect himself, because if he trades bases, he loses. He needs to win a base. He can't afford to trade right now. Reavers popping out. Oh, nice plague on all the Reavers. And it looks like the Scourge are going to come in here and get the shuttles as well. So now the Reavers are stuck on the ground. Bisu trying to power through this very, very difficult position, and he is about to get sandwiched from the other side, ladies and gentlemen. Lurker coming in from behind is going to try and burrow next to the Reavers, but it's actually on move command. It's going to die before it gets in there. And Psystorm's on the bridge doing massive damage to the Hydralisk count as well. Psystorm's on the Nidus getting the reinforcements dead as well. Bisu might be able to break through here. If he does and he can take out these upper left bases, it will be exactly the swing he needs. He's actually getting a base up in the bottom right at the exact same time that this is happening. So trying to kind of play that long game too. Very nicely done by Bisu. He crucially still has all four of these Reavers in play. They've all been plagued, but they're still alive, and they of course do full damage under Swarm. They do tons of damage to these buildings. This Defiler is not long for this world, I feel, but he doesn't have much to defend the Reavers though, and it looks like one's gonna get taken out. The Hydra's coming in. He's gonna take out these Plagued Reavers so quickly without any Dragoons or Zealots to block. And unfortunately, the Reavers are gonna go down. That's a huge, huge loss for Bisu. If he'd been able to get these reinforcements up next to the Reavers quickly enough to protect them from these Zerglings and Hydras, I think he would be able to push in here and start assaulting this position a little bit more. But I mean, you know, Jaedong just has too much of an economy. So even though he lost the first wave and he lost the second wave, the third and fourth waves clean up Bisu's push and stop him from advancing any farther. Bisu has gotten this base up in the bottom right hand corner during the meantime, and it looks like Jaedong has spotted it, or he's going to spot it in a moment here. So that base is probably not long for this world, to be honest with you. Now that he's spotted it, all he needs is a small force to run in there. But Bisu is not going to let it go completely undefended. He's got Zealots. He's running down into this southern position as well. Jaedong has a handful of Zerglings that he can come in here with. Let me just double check the upgrades real quick. +3 weapons for the Zealots, but we have 3/3 Cracklings, ladies and gentlemen. 3/3 Cracklings in the house right now, and they are doing massive damage, and these Zealots know that they are in trouble. They're trying to win him. They're on move command. He needs to attack to at least get some damage. He finally does get some attacks in, but these Zealots actually get slaughtered pretty hard by the 3/3 Zerglings there. And this is why I said this base is not long for this world, because it just takes a handful of Cracklings to go in there and polish it off, and one Swarm is all it's going to take to make sure he doesn't even lose anything in the effort. And so I think that was Bisu's chance. I think Bisu went in. Like I said, he has one maxed army. I was saying before, he has not the great economy, not the best position, but he has one maxed army to try and do something with. And he went in here, and he didn't do enough. He actually didn't even kill any significant buildings or anything like that. It was a really strong push, storming the Nidus, the Reavers, killing everything. It was beautiful, but I don't think Jaedong's going to be able to lose from this position. Unless he actually tries to. He's got 73 drones on the map, significant economy, and Bisu just cannot mount. You can see he's only up to 150 supply right now. He's got a decent army, but he can't mount another full maxed army right now to try and go for another strong push. But Reavers might be the deciding factor, though. Jaedong is kind of vulnerable to something like Reavers. He doesn't have any Scourge around right now, so the Reavers are going to be able to use the shuttle for mobility as well. Here we go, Bisu pushing into the 6 o'clock position. This is his last chance. He needs to win this battle somehow decisively, and take out this base if he wants to stay in this game. And Jaedong just streaming in lots of stuff. Where are the storms, though? There's the storms, taking out lots of units. The Reavers in the back have been plagued, but they're powering on, shooting out tons of Scarabs, and it looks like their ground army has been almost completely annihilated. The Archons and the Reavers, are they going to be able to clean up? It looks like they are not, because if you look on the minimap, Jaedong has more forces streaming across the map to rejoin this battle, and Bisu just has a bare bones army left here, a couple Archons, a couple Reavers, and before I can even finish saying the names of the units that he has, Bisu GG's, and they all die, and Bisu is forced to GG. So well played by Jaedong. Remember, this all started with a cannon rush too. So anyway, a really great game. What a nice game between Jaedong and Bisu. And there was a point in the mid game when I was like, I think Bisu's gonna win this, because he had like even bases with Jaedong, and Jaedong just couldn't get map control, and Bisu was getting all of his tech. He had the 12 o'clock, he had the 3 o'clock base. You know, Bisu had like 4 bases, and Jaedong had like 4.5. He was just getting a 5th up, and it wasn't saturated. And it just looked like Bisu had so much map control. But you know what? Jaedong stalled long enough. That's the Zerg game. You stall long enough to get your stuff going, and your tech going, and your economy going, and your macro going. And that's exactly what Jaedong did. He stalled long enough that he was able to just get enough production capability that he was just able to swarm units out from all parts of the map, and wherever Bisu struck, he was able to land a strong, painful, but not decisive blow. Every time he went into these side bases to attack, he was able to do significant damage and take an early lead in the battle, and then Jaedong's second wave would come in faster than Bisu's, and he would be victorious. So very nicely done by Jaedong. Well played in the long game, and well played by Bisu as well. It was a fun game to watch. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. And again, I did do another game from this same replay pack of Jaedong versus Bisu about 6 months ago. So if I remember, I will try to link that at the end of this video or in the description or somewhere, so you can go watch it if you want more. If you want to watch more. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG, and I'll catch you next time. And also, sorry, one last thing, side note, I am actually going to be traveling this week, and so I'm probably not going to be doing my live stream this week, just as a heads up to those of you that do join me on the live stream. So I believe this Wednesday and Saturday I'm going to be on the road, and but then the following week on Wednesday evening I should be back. So anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. GG. Take care.